Hello, everyone. It's always a pleasure to welcome you again to House News. In this episode, we bring you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of Indonesia. So now let's have a look at our headlines for today. During the 2024 Indonesia-Africa Parliamentary Forum in Nusa Dua, Bali, Speaker of the House emphasized the important role of parliaments in addressing global health challenges, including the ongoing monkeypox outbreak. Under the theme Forging Indonesia-Africa Parliamentary Partnership for Development, the 2024 IAPF Forum produced key recommendations intended to promote stronger cooperation among developing countries. The Speaker of the House underlined Parliament's role in boosting South-South cooperation through supportive legislation for international development. The House hopes the team New Nusantara Advance Indonesia will contribute to achieving the goal of Golden Indonesia 2045, focusing on improving the nation's development and success. Soybean cake or tempe, the Indonesian dish, was officially proposed as one of the nominees for UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage by several organizations of tempe lovers. The Indonesia-Africa Parliamentary Forum strengthens values of solidarity and equality, inspired by the spirits of the 1955 Asia-Africa Conference. This forum focuses on addressing global challenges to enhance peace and prosperity in Asia and Africa. Speaker of the House Dr. Honoris Causa Puan Maharani stated, the House, together with African parliaments, is committed to overcoming various global and regional issues, including the monkeypox outbreak, currently spreading in several countries. Moreover, this forum also discussed cooperations between Indonesia and African nations in the food security and investment sectors.
Apa yang dilakukan pada forum ini nantinya itu akan bisa meningkatkan hubungan antara Indonesia dan Afrika, dan tentu saja kami berharap bahwa Indonesia dan Afrika ini yang nanti pada tahun depan akan memperingati hubungannya ke 70 tahun bisa kembali berjalan lebih baik, lebih kuat. Cita-cita dari Konferensi Asia Afrika 1955 itu bisa kita lakukan kembali dengan semangat dan cita-cita yang baru.
Vice Chairperson of BKSAP of the House Putu Supatma explained the joint commitment between Indonesia and African countries is demonstrated through increased cooperations in various fields, such as investment and renewable energy. In addition, the House encourages the government to develop trade cooperations with African countries by promoting the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement.
BUMN kita, Badan Usaha Milik Negara, menjadi akselerator dalam membawa UMKM kita ke sana. Tentu UMKM kita lihat tidak justru hanya menjadi kekuatan di dalam negeri, tapi bisa menembus pasar-pasar dunia dalam konsepnya melakukan investasi seperti tadi ada SPA yang dilakukan oleh salah satu warga negara kita.
From Bali, Nuki Tampu Bolon, TVA Parliament reports. Leadership of the House believes the IAPF is an initiative by the Parliament to expand cooperations between Indonesia and African countries. This parliamentary support is expected to enhancing bilateral relations. Vice Speaker for Political and Security Affairs Ludwig Paulus said, Indonesia has many opportunities to increase exports to Africa, especially in the agriculture, maritime, and manufacturing sectors, which currently remain underdeveloped. He highlighted amid global uncertainties, Africa has strong economic potential. Therefore, Indonesia must intensify bilateral and multilateral initiatives to support African countries grow and develop.
Nah, ini terus kita kembangkan sambil kita lihat mereka butuh apa dari kita, ya. Kita butuh apa? Kita tahu mereka kan sumber daya alam tidak seperti kita, ya, termasuk potensi-potensi kelautan, ya, kita cukup banyak. Nah, itulah mungkin perlu ada kerjasama bilateral dan pada gilirannya pada kerjasama multilateral nanti.
On the same occasion, Indonesia Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi remarked the Bandung spirit of the 1955 Asia-Africa Conference continues to be relevant and should be realized through economic cooperation. Additionally, Indonesia and Africa must contribute to world peace, including promoting Palestinian rights.
Bidang-bidang yang diinginkan, dan di pidato saya juga sampaikan beberapa hal, misalnya mengenai masalah perdagangan, kerjasama kesehatan, dan lain-lain, dan investasi kita juga sudah mulai masuk ke Afrika cukup lama.
From Bali, Nukit Sampubolon, TVR Parliament reports. Speaker of the House urged IAPF parliaments to tackle unfair policies that hinder the progress of developing countries. She highlighted the importance of South-South cooperations in fostering mutual support among these nations. During the closing of the 2024 Indonesia-Africa Parliamentary Forum, Speaker of the House Dr. Anaris Kausa Puan Maharani urged developing countries to unite for a shared future and progress. The forum emphasized strengthening South-South cooperations and building closer people-to-people ties can occur through bilateral and multilateral relations. These efforts will improve joint solutions for the development of southern nations. Enhanced collaborations allows countries to address shared challenges and advance their development goals.
Kita mengawali diskusi dengan membahas pentingnya memperkuat kerjasama Selatan-Selatan dan mengembangkan hubungan antar masyarakat yang lebih erat. Kita sepakat bahwa parlemen berperan strategis dalam mendukung pertumbuhan berkelanjutan. Parlemen juga berperan penting dalam mendukung kebijakan luar negeri yang efektif. Kemudian kita telah menyoroti pentingnya kerjasama dalam sektor kesehatan, serta ketahanan pangan dan energi. Lebih dari itu, kita semakin mengenal satu sama lain. Kita harus berdiri bersama melawan kebijakan berbagai negara yang menghambat kemajuan negara berkembang, seperti kebijakan diskriminatif dan proteksionisme.
Additionally, Puan highlighted the IAPF has demonstrated the relationship between Africa and Indonesia can be strengthened through interparliamentary cooperations with a commitment to development based on people-centered. From Bali, Rivi Magdudi, TVR Parliament reports. Stay tuned for more updates on the 2025 state budget right here, only on House News. Commemorating Indonesia's 17th independence, the House urges improve Human Development Index. New Nusantara Advance Indonesia can be achieved through budget and program support, as government has planned for Golden Indonesia 2045. According to the data of United Nations Development Program, Indonesia's Human Resource Index score is still below the global average. Member of Commission 7 of the House Andi Yuliani Paris mentions, the government needs to focus on 3 key indicators to improve Human Resources Index, namely education, health, and a decent standard of living. This focus is essential to achieve the goal of Golden Indonesia by 2045.
Ketiga, daya beli. Nah, daya beli kita juga masih sangat kurang dibandingkan dengan Singapura, Malaysia, ya. 3 hal ini harusnya menjadi indikator untuk nanti turunannya kita kembangkan menjadi program-program. Program untuk meningkatkan partisipasi sekolah, program untuk meningkatkan derajat kesehatan masyarakat, dan program untuk meningkatkan daya beli. Ya, kita lihat sekarang daya beli masyarakat ini cukup menurun, ya, dengan baru-baru ini kenaikan bahan bakar minyak beberapa hari yang lalu, tentunya ini sangat dirasakan oleh masyarakat, khususnya masyarakat menengah ke bawah.
Although the government is currently focusing on the development of the new capital Nusantara, Andi Yuliani reminded improving the index should remain a priority, with the proportional budget allocations in education, health, and public welfare. Rifki Magdudi, TVR Parliament reports. As the Indonesian Parliament celebrates its 17th anniversary, people have growing expectations that the House will continue to be the voice of the people and working towards fulfilling public aspirations. Member of the House Hussein Fadlullah said the House, together with the government, will continue to collaborate in national and regional development planning to achieve the visions of Golden Indonesia 2045. The House constantly listens to and represents the aspirations of various community groups to ensure the development of inclusive public policies can be effectively executed. Furthermore, Hussein hopes the public will support and oversee the Parliament's performance by providing constructive feedback and criticism throughout the decision-making process.
Harapan-harapan dari masyarakat bahwa dari tahun ke tahun, dari periode ke periode itu selalu bagaimana DPR ini bisa menjadi penyambung lidah rakyat, ya. Bisa betul-betul melaksanakan aspirasi yang diberikan oleh masyarakat, oleh rakyat. Amanah-amanah yang diberikan oleh rakyat bisa dijalankan dengan baik oleh kita di teman-teman anggota DPR RI dan juga tentunya ke depannya agar supaya masyarakat juga bisa terus mendorong, mensupport kami, melakukan check and balances, ya, mendorong kami untuk kami juga bisa melaksanakan tugas kami dengan baik sesuai dengan keinginan dari rakyat.
Amid the high political intensity and economic uncertainty, Hussein reassured his constituents that the House will persist in working towards building a more advanced, superior, and quality Indonesia. Andri Tivia Parlemen reports. Indonesian lawmakers have approved the draft law on accountability for the 2023 state budget. While the budget report shows positive results, the Budget Committee demands the government to improve better implementation. Vice Chairperson of the Budget Committee Muhyiddin Muhammad Said explained the government must take steps to improve the governance and implementations of the state budget. This involves improving the quality of planning, budgeting, and accountability in budget execution, as well as raising the tax ratio through an adaptive taxation system. Additionally, it includes maximizing non-tax state revenues by enhancing relevant policies. Additionally, to strengthen the economy and enhance physical resilience, the government is urged to establish measures and indicators for spending by ministries and agencies. This will support the implementations of the Spending Better policy aimed at achieving more accurate state expenditures.
Untuk meningkatkan kualitas pengelolaan keuangan pemerintah, pemerintah akan melakukan beberapa langkah antara lain. 1. Memperbaiki kualitas perencanaan dan pelaksanaan anggaran agar tingkat pertumbuhan dapat optimal sejalan dengan defisit APBN yang ditetapkan dan silpa yang terkendali. 2. Merancang dan melaksanakan sistem dan tata kelola perpajakan yang adaptif dengan perkembangan ekonomi nasional dan dunia agar rasio perpajakan meningkat dengan baik. 3. Memperbaiki kebijakan PNBP untuk mengoptimalkan PNBP, meningkatkan tata kelola dalam proses bisnis, meningkatkan inovasi dan kualitas layanan pada masyarakat serta menjaga keberlangsungan lingkungan hidup sekitarnya.
The House encouraged the government to consistently manage state finances professionally so that the implementations of the state budget can be more transparent and accountable. Andini and Yoga, TVR Parlemen Report. Indonesia traditional snack listed as the best street food in the world. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned on House News. The government has officially proposed tempe, a native food of Indonesia, produced through the traditional knowledge and technique, as an intangible cultural heritage at UNESCO. Quoted from Antara, it is not clearly known which of our Indonesian ancestors discovered tempe and how. There is only evidence like the Serat Centini book of tempe being consumed by the Javanese people for centuries. As per the Javanese literary work, tempe was a dish of the Javanese people and a part of various community rituals since the 16th century. Recently, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology officially proposed the recognition of tempe, an intrinsic part of Indonesian food culture, as an intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO. It is hoped that the inclusion of tempeh culture in the UNESCO list can provide benefits not only for the people of Indonesia, but also the world. The Indonesian Tempeh Forum, one of the teams that initiated the proposal, is hoping for public support so that tempeh will continue to be sustainable and known around the world. Several studies globally have identified the health benefits of tempeh as it is made with fermented soybeans. Although the government has not officially determined, tempeh lovers and makers have been setting June 6 as National Tempeh Day. It is considered important that the culture of making and consuming tempeh be celebrated once a year, as the nation's ancestors have gifted such healthy food to society. Street food is the heart and soul of international cuisine. Taste Atlas, the encyclopedia of flavors, has revealed its latest ranking of the best-rated street foods in the world. Taste Atlas food rankings are based on the ratings of the Taste Atlas audience. The purpose is to promote excellent local foods, instill pride in traditional dishes, and arouse curiosity about dishes you haven't tried. Siomay, one of the Indonesian snacks, have been ranked as the first place winner in the best-rated street food in the world. It consists of steamed cone-shaped fish dumplings, eggs, potatoes, cabbage, tofu, and bitter melon. After they have been steamed, all ingredients are assembled in a plate, cut into bit-sized pieces, and drizzled with a spicy peanut sauce. The final touch to the dish is a splash of sweet sauce and chili sauce, along with a drizzle of lime juice. Siomay is derived from Chinese shumai, and it is believed to have originated among Chinese immigrants who came to Indonesia during the Dutch colonial period. Best enjoyed with drinks, this chicken dish is an addictive one. Marinated in mirin, garlic, soy sauce, and rice wine, the chicken is coated with a thin layer of potato starch to get that perfectly crunchy exterior. It's crispy and savory, just the perfect snack if you're craving something light but delectable. These thin pancakes are made with wheat flour and have origins in the French region of Brittany. Although they are a French staple and a national dish, crepes are so popular that they have spread worldwide since the turn of the 20th century when white wheat flour became affordable. These delectable treats are made with flour, eggs, milk, and butter whipped into a thin batter, which is then poured in a crepe pan and fried. Alternative sweeteners to replace sugar have the potential to be an option that can be used by people with diabetes or those who want to reduce blood sugar levels. Therefore, when adding sweeteners to recipes, it is essential to make healthy choices. Added sugar is probably one of the most problematic ingredients in the modern diet and has been linked to serious diseases, including obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Fortunately, you can add sweetness to your foods with healthy alternative to sugar. Natural sweeteners are only less harmful than refined sugar, but also have health benefits. Raw honey is one of the oldest known natural sweeteners. It is nutritious and unprocessed. With its antioxidant and immune-boosting properties, raw honey is one of the best sweet liquids. It can be used in salad dressings, smoothies, and beverages, toast, and as dips for a variety of dishes. However, it may not be a good option for baking recipes. If you are not a fan of the flavor of honey but still want a way to sweeten up beverages and recipes, stevia is a great natural sugar alternative to try. This sweetener is made from the stevia plant and it's sweeter than the table sugar. As a sugar substitute, stevia is non-nutritive, meaning it contains almost no calories. It adds sweetness without much else, and that may be just what you're looking for when cutting back on sugar. Dates are the dried fruits on the date palm tree. These sweet, chewy fruits are an excellent alternative to refined sugar and offer several health benefits. You can use dates in place of sugar in recipes for energy bars, cakes, and cookies. Some people make dates into a thick paste, which can be used as one-to-one replacement for refined sugar. Dates are high in calories and natural sugars, but studies note that they don't significantly affect blood sugar levels like table sugar does, even among people with diabetes. And that information wraps up our house news for today. I'm Reni Menariu and all the crew. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you again next time.